We can see each other. Stream control. So we are ready to roll. So we're going to launch in DFY Magic Themes, launching soon. The YouTube channel, and also the Inner Mentoring Circle group. And if I find it, we'll go live on Lead Gen Magic as well. So we'll be live in those when we go. Oh, hang on. This might have. We might be live, yeah. I'm chatting away, right? And it put us live straight away. So hello everyone who's watching this live. One of the streams has dropped off and we have to put it back in. You say hello to people, Robert.
Yeah, hello everybody. Everybody's at different times. We're testing this time frame, and we're going to move our weekly calls on the live for you to 5 o'clock Eastern, which I think that's 4 hours. Must be 9 o'clock GMT.
It's actually now nearly 10 o'clock GMT.
Interesting.
Oh, actually, well, no, sorry, you're right. British Standard Time is 10 o'clock. This is where I get confused, and everyone confuses me. And I go, what time is what? So GMT is 9 o'clock apparently, if that's right. I'm going to Google GMT actually. GMT time.
You got your BMT, you got your EST, you got your
right. So GMT is coming up to 9 o'clock right now. Right. British Standard Time where I am is coming up to 10 o'clock, and I assume it's coming up to 5 o'clock where you are.
Right, correct.
Right, so it's this time, everyone. Okay, we're on 5 minutes early because I assumed that the system, right? Get this, the system would just go click here to go live, and it automatically put us live in all our channels. So, nothing like a good start, eh? But it's been one of those brilliant days today, Robert. You know, when you work for yourself, it's really wonderful because you can take your kids out places, and I took my kids to a place called Creeley, which is a theme park in Devon in the UK, and they had a fantastic time. We got the premium passes, so we can go in as many times as we want throughout the year. And so we went down. I took them down there today. I did a lot of sitting down because if I walk around, if I'm on my feet too long, I'm in a lot of pain. So they went off on the rides, and I sat down and did a few things on my phone, but not too much, and had an ice cream and chilled out, you know. And it's just nice to take a day away from everything, chilling out, doing whatever we're doing, which is great. So,
well, in all honesty, I mean, people don't know what we went through over the last 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah,
but,
we sorted it for them, so they didn't have to.
When we hit the mark, I was so elated that all 20 of the DFI Fast Track people have a site up. Yeah. I was so finally, just like it hit me, being between proud and enthusiastic, but we just achieved something that I don't think has ever been done.
Not to my knowledge, you know, I know that I see a lot of products come out in the IM world, internet marketing world. They release these products, but they end up looking amazing, selling you the dream, you know, and they not once they turn around and say, look, we don't guarantee you're going to make any money, but it's always in a little disclaimer, right? Mm-hmm. But they also say we're going to give some training, and you follow the training that's there, but they don't really give away everything. You know, it's sort of, you know, there you go, off you go, now make your own business. And I know on average, and this is a fact, that 80% of people get confused, and they either try to take action and get confused and stop, Some of that 80% just don't bother because they bought it on a whim. And 20% of people take action and actually follow the whole system and end up managing to make something of it, even if it's not working right. What we wanted to do with this was make it so anyone could follow the system. And at the end of it, they've got a site set up, right? And that they can then rent that site out. Now, we've done that, you know, and I'm sure everyone in the Inner Circle mentoring group will feel the same way as us. That
no, but first of all, you have to get credit to two different factors that are there: the willingness of people to want to do it,
yeah,
to trust that what we're telling them is going to get them to that build, that website will be built. And then on top of that, what I think is different of what we did here was we actually filled in the gaps. Because like you were saying, people will sell products. They'll sell products all the time, and they'll give the basic training of the product, but they never give the before, the after, or the connection pieces that make the whole thing complete. And that's the part that you and I said from the beginning. It doesn't matter where they start from. They have to have from A to Z, where the small things that we can all take for granted, that some know, that some don't, are filled in. And I think that's the biggest difference. We gave everybody everything that we could think of to get them from domain name to hosting to getting the site built and creating the system of your ingenuity, of you putting that together, which made it simple for the ones using it. But the reality is the complexity behind it is months and months and months of work.
Yes.
People will never know that, but that's okay. It's not about what they figure out or they don't figure out. It's that all of that got put together because of the complexities in how MVP works.
So, and the things we've had our, you know, like a roller coaster that my kids are on today, we've had our ups and downs, right? You know, we originally had this ready to launch on, you know, with all 5 themes and everything in place and all the training and everything was ready to go. And then suddenly there was those updates for the software, and it, you know, you and I, we've always put our hands up and been honest with this. We panicked. We went, oh my God, we got, you know, 3 days to go. What do we do, right? And I turned around and I said, don't worry, you know, we've got a solution to the problem. We're going to get it sorted, right? And so next week, there's the second theme is going live. We've got someone just our devs going over and finalizing it just to make sure it's reliable and we, you know, how we feel it's, you know, correct. And then that's ready to roll for everyone. And then we're aiming for the week after for the others to drop in as quickly as possible, you know, and people will get access to them, not as quickly as we would like, but they have to be correct. It's no good releasing something that isn't correct, you know, that's got problems. But in that time, right, we're giving extra value to people, and we're looking after those Inner Circle members, you know, and we always said we would look after them. So just say if anyone is on here watching the live and you want to pop into dfimagicthemes.com/live, you're welcome to come in and say hello. I'm a little bit more tired than normal, so I might not be as animated as I normally am. It's, you know, walking up, you know, going around the park and sitting down is can be quite tiring. Takes it out of you, especially when you've got fibromyalgia. And you know, it's great because someone said to me the other day, why are you so positive, Steve? Why are you so helpful to everyone? And I said, there's people worse off than me in life. You know, there's people who don't have roofs over their head, don't have food in this world. You know, there's people, everyone struggles in a very different way in life. And I'm a great believer in when I'm on here, I don't share what's going on in my life. I don't share it on social media. I occasionally will talk about it. And I talk about it only because, not for people to feel sorry for me, because I never want that. I tell people because then they understand why I might twitch my shoulder, or I might have good days and bad days, but I'm always saying life gets in the way, always gets in the way, and so you have to be, positive in life. You have to say to yourself, all right, I've had a bad day today, so what? Tomorrow's going to be better. Tomorrow's going to be a far better day for me, and we'll get there, and that's what this is all about, is doing things in a way that when you work for yourself, you can very much pick and choose what hours you do. So with me, if I've had a bad night the night before, I'll get up later in the day, the next day, and then I'll work on throughout that day, to do the work I need to get done. And that's always been my work ethic of, especially my customers, looking after them, and sometimes for me, I found that, I've got third parties either side of me with some of the things I do. And then one thing will change and mess up something else, or something's not working with one of those third parties that, we have to, like Elementor, the update on Elementor happened, and so I've always got things in the pipeline. Now, anyone who believed in us and bought in with us are the people that I look after all my customers anyway, as you know, Robert. But what I'm getting at is my past product, lead gen magic. That isn't forgotten. I've got a big plan for that coming up in the next month or so.
Oh, I know you do.
Right. And everyone who grandfathered in at the really cheap, and that was a cheap price. They got unlimited hosting in there when they signed up and all sorts, So those people who grandfathered in will get every access to anything in there that I'm going to put in there for them. And the people with the DFY themes, right, they are grandfathered in. So, we will make sure that they'll always have value, and we'll always look after them. And we are so, so grateful to all of them trusting in us. And I am super proud of every single one of the inner circle guys. I really am. And the reason I'm super proud of them is because they've taken action. They've got their sites set up. When they put in done. It's just amazing.
You know what I find really interesting about all of it is we have many people in the group that have been around, this whole mass page building for years and years, and haven't got sites built. And then we have people that are never built a WordPress site or even bought a domain. And both of these extremes of the scale on the left and on the right have built a site. So it can't be a fluke that this just kind of happened, because we have every different type of person in the group that built a site now, and it's going to go forward. And we actually took it, I think, Stephen, I don't know about you, but I think we took it even a little bit slower than we originally anticipated, because we wanted to make sure that people got the concept.
Yes.
And now, what I'm really excited about myself is when they finish the rest of the training, and this is integrated with Lead Simplify and with the social media platforms and the rest of the stuff that we're doing in the training, the next sites that come out to be built, they don't have to do any of that compared to what they're doing the first time through.
Exactly. And they will know, everyone has their own way of learning, right? And there'll be people who'll go, I know how to fast track that. I can do da 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 da. Oh, how do I do that bit? Oh, I'll go and look back at the training. Oh, there's that bite-sized segment. I remember. And this is what's is super exciting about what we've done with this. And I am really, really proud of every member in the inner circle that have, or everyone's gone through this, and it's just fantastic, what they've done. I'm just so chuffed for everyone, and hopefully when we tomorrow night when we also we do the live view after the Sunday live, I'm hoping that everyone who's going to come in will say yes, we can move to Saturday nights. The reason for it is we have people all around the world, and some people have gone, it's difficult to still be up. Because for me it's half 11 when we go live. So that is there's half 11 now. We'll work it out 10. Yeah, because it's about now, so it'd be half 11 when we go live, right? And then if we stay on for an hour doing the live for you, that's half 12 for a lot of people of various time zones. By bringing it back a little bit earlier, it just means that it's easier on those people to come in, even just for an hour, and also being a Sunday the next day, you can get to stay in bed a bit longer.
Well, there's going to be a difference for everybody all the time.
Yeah.
And they always have the replays of what we're doing. The training has already been recorded, and it's going to be in one place in the members area as going forward. It's just going to be, everything is more simplified. I think we used Facebook to the best of its
capabilities.
Yeah, because not only did it get the training done, but it brought the group together in a way that I don't think it would have ever happened if we just had a training area that they went in and got their stuff.
Yeah.
By being socially active at the same time of going through the training, it's like everything else. When you go through some kind of a traumatic experience, or I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. Like when we had the hurricanes here in 07, 06, and there were 3 hurricanes back to back. Those hurricanes brought the entire neighborhood together because nobody had power. Nobody had a way of cooking. And so we had cookouts in the street because we were out of power for like almost 2 weeks, and everybody's food was going bad in the freezers. So we were bringing out the barbecue grills out to the street, and everybody was bringing the food from the freezers, and we were just cooking these massive amounts of food that was going to go bad. And because of that, the whole entire street, all the neighbors became friends, and you lived through those experiences, and that's the same thing in the group. When you are socially together, connected to achieve something, you come together in a way that you wouldn't have. You know what I'm trying to say? And I think that's what happened in the Facebook group, that people started supporting each other. People saw other people able to do it, so that it helped them to push over. And like you've said a few times,
I get super excited when, and I'm chuffed for everyone, but it's the ones that message me privately and go, my confidence wasn't great, and it's growing and growing and growing, and I know, and I realize I can actually do this, and it's great because we got people from all walks of life in the group. We got people from all different levels, people that know what they're doing, to novices. I don't like calling them novices, but new people that, it's like me. If I want to be a brain surgeon, I wouldn't have a clue where to start. But if I went on a training course that someone I could relate to, like 10, 20 years down the line, I could be probably a brain surgeon. It's that thing, anyone can learn anything if you put your mind to it.
That's true.
And it's just down to having someone who can relay that to you. And I'm hoping, from the comments we've seen in the group, that we've been able to do that and relay it in a nice way. And when things play up, when things don't quite go right because WordPress has done an update, or there's been a plugin update or something like that, and we've had that, we've then come up with a solution and put the solution in the group.
We've had it where it's just a matter of taking 1 or 2 steps out of sequence, and then things go wrong.
Yeah.
And those little small things are the roadblocks that will always come up. And then you're gonna send in a support ticket, and maybe you'll get an answer in 2 or 3 days. this is not our particular group, but this is the standard IM world. And then after 2
Yes.
or 3 days, you lost interest because it doesn't work. They don't get back to you. But I think 9 times out of 10, the people that bought that other course don't even ask for a refund. They just take the loss.
Yeah.
That maybe someday it's going to work. Anyways, it's just very interesting. It was a wonderful experience for me, as well as you, Stephen, I'm sure, to watch the people grow, use the system, and know it works, and trust the system. And the system is only going to get better.
Yes.
It's going to get fine-tuned, and it's going to get
We've got
faster.
some great plans for the system, haven't we?
Man, I'm telling you, it's going to be incredible. And we're not there yet, but we already have people putting it together, doing multiple sites. And that's like, they're a little bit more advanced. I'll be transparent with that they've already built sites and they've already been working with mass page sites. But that's the concept behind this.
Yes.
When you can build 3 or 4 sites in a day and just cover different areas, think about the growth potential. We're not there yet, but it's coming. And I'm telling you, what's a domain? Under $10, Stephen, on the average? No more than $10, right?
No, exactly.
You spend $50 and you put out 5 websites in 5 different areas, and you start doing your lead generation or whatever your business is, and you just start tenderly growing those sites.
Yeah.
It's so exciting, really.
I know it's we've always tried to do our best to support everyone, bring them in the right direction, and I do feel that we're things are going in that right direction for people, and we got lots of things to add to the training area. We are on the right route with this, and the members area is going to have more and more training added over the coming weeks. And so, we're near. By the way, we are nearly there. Whilst all the training videos are in the Inner Circle mentoring group, we are nearly there with the training center being added to DFI Magic Themes, and all the founders are going to have access to that, and it'll be in their members area. So we've just taken our time a little bit just to make sure that the training makes sense. We haven't missed anything, because we found the founders have been great, saying to us, "Oh, you might have missed this, or you might have missed that," or how do I do this? Sometimes we have to always say to people, "It's training's on its way."
The proof positive is each step that not 1, not 2, all of them got through it and built.
Yeah.
It's not a hit or miss. It's a definite got it done, moving forward. And
I agree.
That's the best part of this. So as we are there in the background for the missteps or the roadblocks or the I don't get it things that came up, that's how this works. That's how the whole thing comes together, and just it's a complete success for that.
So, I agree. And I mean, there's people in the group which have been fantastic for all the members. We've got I know Dave Stowers has helped us out on times where he's picked up on something that's been said that we've missed, and he's messaged me. Steve Dimmock's done the same. There's a few people in the group that I know are advanced with their knowledge, and they've been fantastic. There's 1 or 2 people in the group I won't name that tried jumping the gun and confused everyone, as I like to say in my rhyme. And that's cool. We're not, you're not in trouble, but the main thing is we say, wait for the training, follow it step by step, because you'll get there. And I'm sure anyone who's watching this now, who'll be watching this later time on the replay, I sincerely hope you'll put a comment in saying that you've watched the training, and we have delivered what we said. Because that's my goal is always to deliver what we said we're going to deliver. And yes, we've had times when we've been a little bit behind on one or two bits and pieces, but we are getting there. And we have our devs on the other 4 themes that you're going to be having access to, working really hard to make sure that they're correct. And then we got some big plans in the future with this, which I'm sure I'm not going to give anything away because Robert will tell me off. But there are some big plans with this coming up, and the founders who got in on that amazing deal will be chuffed to bits with what they're going to be getting. So that's the super exciting thing with this. We got someone jumping on. Let's wait and see.
The original part of this was.
Hello, Steve Dimmock.
There's Mr. Trouble.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How are you?
I'm good.
You look like you're in a very posh room.
I'm in the lounge.
Oh, you're in the lounge. Very nice. I'm so used to seeing you in your radio studio.
I know. Yeah, and I didn't go into the office today.
How's it been going, Steve?
Crazy.
I know you're super busy running your own business at the same time.
Yeah.
And I know that you and I have talked about a few things which will be coming up in the near weeks. Something super exciting. Am I allowed to share yet, or shall we keep it a secret, Steve?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, not yet.
I'm working on it though.
But no, it's good. And so I can't tell about that either, guys. But it's okay. But
lots of secrets.
How have you found the training that we've been giving you?
Phenomenal. Yeah. No, you guys are hitting it. Really good.
Brilliant.
So yeah.
We try and my motto is KISS, keep it super simple, because a KISS is super simple.
Yes.
And so that's what we've always tried to do. And when we started this, I said at the start of things, I said some people who are more advanced in this might feel I'm trying to teach them to suck eggs, but I'm not. We want everyone to progress in the same way, because at the end of this, you'll have a better understanding of the theme and Magic Page plugin and the whole system.
Mm-hmm.
And there may be that one little golden nugget where you'll be watching and go, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Because I learn off people, we all learn off of each other, Yeah. So I'm and I loved your comment when you went up and said, I've done it, and it's all out there.
Now I've done it twice now, so
I know. I sort of, whoa, and we haven't even got to that bit yet in the training. But I know why, and that's brilliant.
Yeah, no, I've got 2 electrical sites so far.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the so far.
and Monday, right, we've got the magic form coming up.
Ooh.
So this is basically those that have Dowell's form will still work, but the boxes that get filled in, the name, address, and phone number, and social media links, and those are really the bits that get filled in. But when we were releasing this, we decided to include a form in the system that was just a very basic fill in those few bits, all right? Because the Dowell's form works with Lead Gen Magic, and we're revamping all of that over the next month or so to get that sorted out. And I've mentioned the Blocks Club before, and we're going down that route with it, and all of that will still work with Dowell's form. It's just the fact that me and Rob had a lot of long discussions on what direction to go in.
Let me just interrupt you there for a second, because people will start to get confused on what form does what for who, and it's all going to cycle back to the simplistic portion of the training for the done for you system.
Yeah.
If we have everybody in doing tune-ups to the car engine, I'll go back to that analogy, and everybody's in the engine trying to do the tune-ups, they're going to start making mistakes. And if we can keep the form portion, which is just the basic, the company name, the phone number, the address, the basics, to go in one place, one time, and you think about like Steve's already talking, he's going to have 2. He's talking mini sites. So the quicker that he can get a form filled out with that information for the next company or for the next lead gen location, I'll say, and he just pops it in the form, pops it in the next form. Or, but what I just saw, which was really exciting the other day, is you can save the form. So now you have the form as a saved template, and you change 1 or 2 things rather than having to do the whole form again for the next location or the next website. It's just going to be.
And the thing as well is, with Dower's form, Dower is super intelligent, amazing guy, but there's so much to it to learn. And the whole point of the DFY system was to keep it super simple. Right. And that's why in the end, after a lot of discussions, you know, because I originally wanted to use Dower's form with this fully. But there was so much to it of, well, where do we put this? Where do we put that? And we just both, you know, Robert said, people are just going to get a little bit on the confused side. They're not ready for that yet. When we get to lead gen magic, right, they'll understand after doing this how to use the blocks club and how to use Dower's form with things. So we've gone down that route to keep it simple. And it is literally a very simple form. It doesn't do all the magic that Dower's does, the geotags and all. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to confuse people, but
it's
all
totally
the stuff.
Good, though.
Yeah, it's literally name, address, phone number. It's 3 or 4 pages, small pages of you entering your data, and it brings a file out into Magic Page, and boom, you're done. And we're going to be seeing that on Monday. So it's going to speed up your workflow.
It's going to always come back around for me that I don't care if you're Steve Dimick that knows 99% of it and can just do this in his sleep, or you're somebody that just started out brand new. It's got to be at that level of so simple. You don't have to overthink it, but I guarantee you the people that get started with this moving forward in 3 or 4 months are going to have not only the done for you system down pat, but they're going to understand. They're going to have those light bulb moments of you guys talk about, that aha moment that, oh, I got it now. I see why they did that. But right now it looks like Chinese, and I'm trying to read English because I don't understand it. But in a few months' time, I think you'll really start to see. I mean, it's I'm watching the site get indexed. Have you seen your site indexed yet at all, Steve?
No.
Have I checked?
I have it turned off.
You have the site turned off, or that it's not?
I have the indexing turned off for the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've been quite surprised. 1 or 2 of our demo sites, without doing anything, are already indexed with Google.
All right. Maybe
Well,
I should turn it on then.
So why say is if you got it turned off, leave it turned off till after you've seen Monday's training.
Okay. All right. I'll do that.
We're gonna go through the form, and then we're going to go through minifying the site, which some naughty people, naughty people did, because they've watched other training, which we told you, ignore the other training. That's great, but that's other training. Okay. Right. And we were smacking hands because people were going, we were shown in this other training to install WordPress and install Magic Theme and minify it straight away. Right. And I went, no, you don't do that. And we found the fix because we obviously show people how to do that. But in layman's terms, it renames the plugin so that there's not a million websites with Magic Page plugin on it. That's pretty much what it does. And so some people minified it, and then our install goes, well, I can see Magic Page plugin is there, but it isn't because I'm looking for it here.
Yeah.
So one exciting thing out of feedback that we will be doing is actually changing the process a little bit, and the process is going to be future themes are going to be the themes without Magic Page on them, so you can install the theme, then put Magic Page plugin in it. If you choose to minify at that point, that's cool, right? And then do the process that we've got that we've shown in the latest video of how to pull in for the Blocks Club. the magic page.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
that'll do a few things for people. That one, it will eliminate any errors. We found one thing that happened sometimes it happened to you, Steve, that on your server that you do our install and then the magic page is all a bit skew with.
Yeah, and I actually I tried it like 3 times on various different hosting accounts that I have, and one of them I had two magic page plugins.
Yeah.
Even though I only installed it once, there was now a second one.
delete one of them anyway.
Yeah.
So did you find the fix that we put up? Where we showed you to delete the page, recreate it,
Yep.
and then import it. Did that work like a treat?
It worked like a treat. I mean, because I was going through it before I saw that fix. I'd actually texted you on Skype and gave you a big long thing about what's going wrong with it. And then I found your video in the guide. I think it was video 13.
Yeah, unlucky for some.
Yeah, and I deleted my comments to you on Skype, so I went and tried it, and it worked. Yeah, it worked great. So.
And that's why we thanks to you and one other that brought that up, right? That we then decided we're going to change the process when we put the training in the members area. That it's still get a domain name, do your hosting and email. Now install the theme, which won't have Magic Page plugin on it. Right, then install Magic Page plugin, then do the Blocks Club and pull the page in, do your SEO on the Magic Page, boom, that's that done.
Yeah.
And you're back to the same place. It takes just a tiny bit longer, probably an extra 5-10 minutes. But the reason for that is every platform is different with hosting. Right. And when Magic Page plugin does an update, right, and you've already got a version of the build in play, that version may not necessarily import properly into Magic Page plugin, right? Because it's an older style, maybe.
Yeah.
So but when you pull it in from the Blocks Club, right, you're actually just pulling in the layout and content instantly from the Blocks Club. Now we could do that with all the pages, but the problem with that is, would you want to sit there and do that with 15 pages or 20 pages? No. But if we remove Magic Page plugin from it, so you've got the basic plugins in the build, then you add it and then pull that page in. It's just so much easier and cleaner.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
And so it also gives us the opportunity at that time to come back and edit or fiddle with the Magic Page before it can be reloaded or re-downloaded, I should say, as an updated version. A lot easier.
Yeah.
So a month from now, we might say, this wasn't working. Maybe we should have put this in here. And then we can tell you guys a month from now, we can just fix the Magic Page by doing that simple download upload. And it's good to go.
You know, there's so much that we meaning the students, the DFYers, can do with this once the site is launched and marketing wise, and just really, I mean, I've been spending all day today making YouTube videos, just like 30-40 second videos that I'm going to be using for marketing.
Nice.
Yeah. And this is the thing, you're ahead of the game because you got social media channels set up, and you get social media channels, and those in the group who understand how to do that, go and do it. It's cool, right? But we've got people that don't understand that, and Robert's putting together the training on that to say, this is how you set up your Facebook page. This is how you set up the YouTube channel. This is, and all the ones on the sites, we're showing you how to set that up. And then the magic forms can be cool because you just paste your links in, save the magic form, upload it to the back end of MPP, and it adds it to all the links add to all those buttons along the bottom of the page automatically.
Yeah.
And that's every page, not just one. So instead of going in, 15 pages, icon number 1, 5 icons times 15 pages, or is it 6 icons? I mean, it takes forever.
Yeah.
So we're streamlining the process for people. But I mean, I'm just super excited with what you've been doing, Steve. It's just really good, and I mean, everyone in the group has just been so positive, and the feedback we've been getting from them makes it super exciting for us when we know that everyone's achieving where they need to be. you know, and over the coming weeks, there's going to be more and more training added to the members area, and I'm hoping to get the members area live Monday, Tuesday on the website, which means then we can move all the training in there and get it away from the Facebook group. Because we can never tell with Facebook. And then of course I've had a chat with you and your lovely other half who mentioned Discord, and I'm looking into that. And so that's really good. We because we've had a few people say about Discord and maybe going down that route in the future for the mentoring group.
Oh, it's miles ahead of what you can do with Facebook. It's so far advanced. It's awesome, and it's ideal for private groups. It's perfect.
Yeah, and we'll still go live on Facebook. But the difference is we'll pull people into Discord instead. And it's just from briefly looking, it's just like signing up with Facebook, really. For anybody who isn't wanting to build a whole thing up, they can just join and jump in.
Yeah.
So
you can go live inside of Discord as well.
Yeah. So it's all going in the right direction. Now, Mr. Dimmock, we want to ask you a question. Right. For you, right, Saturday night or Sunday night, which is better for live for you? We had some feedback from people who went, the problem with the live for yous at 9:30 is it's half an hour later, which means for most people in the UK and our part of the world, the time zones means that they come on at 11:30.
Yeah.
British Standard Time. We don't finish till 12:30. It's an hour long, and then they've got work on a Monday morning. And that's sort of the feedback we've been having. So we're trying to make our minds up whether to stick with Sundays and go at the 9:30 so it doesn't clash with the Sunday live, or look to move it to a Saturday night. And that's the dilemma we're at.
It's hard to make everyone happy at the same time. It's just
it is. It definitely. Yeah, no, it is impossible. I mean, me personally, I've got the occasional other webinars on a Saturday evening, my time. So that's going to be a conflict. I'm happy to keep it Sundays. And if need be, then if it comes down to a major issue with some of the people hopping on, then we have to talk to Darryl and Simon and say, look, we've got some people who really feel that it's half an hour late is too much for them. I mean, the other option is, have you considered doing it before Darryl's live at 5?
It's a good possibility. I'd have to talk to the boss of the house at home.
Yeah,
because we've got young, wonderful children, and so it's the issue there would only be if our live kept, let's say I say, all right, we'll be on for an hour, and then I'm gonna be on the other one.
Yeah,
it's that switching over a bit and working that out right. But there's an idea. We keep throwing the ideas out there, and we'll see. If everyone tomorrow night goes, no, actually keep it as it is, that's cool.
Yeah.
I just had a few people that haven't been on the live who said they might come on, and then went 11:30 UK time.
Yeah.
Where before 11 o'clock wasn't so bad.
Yeah. I mean, when I lived in London. When I lived in London, I was doing a remote course, and for me it started Monday morning at 1 a.m. is when I was doing it. So I would go to bed like at 10 when I lived in London, and I would set the alarm, and I'd get up at 1 o'clock in the morning to do this hour and a half webinar every week for 6 months. So, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. So Sundays for you is better.
Yeah, it is.
That's good to know. And tomorrow night, we'll ask a few others. If everyone feels Sunday's still great, we'll keep it at that. And then we'll make a decision whether to maybe it has to come down to the Sunday live that goes out has to be an hour.
Yeah.
There's those options there.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean, maybe ask Mr. Darrell to move his to 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
4 o'clock Eastern time. So that, yeah. Then, it'd be better.
The only other thing, people are used to the 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on that Sunday live. So the moment you move things around too much, it's like a few people went, well, we try and be on, if we can. And then you see people from the UK yawning.
Yeah.
There's 12:30 at night, It's this, but this thing is this is always, we always said this is a trial, and we always said we'll see how it goes, and we'd always say if people come on and support it, we'd always do it.
Well,
and
it's early on. It's the theme of it hasn't really been developed enough yet on what we're going to try to achieve with the Live for You. I think that in the future, if there's more of a set, what we're going to get done and why you should be there, then it makes more sense. If it's just to get on to have a chat, people don't have that kind of time. Life is busy. I mean, just getting ready for the work and the next day or after the weekend. And it's right now we're getting started with, and we're talking about the Done For You a lot because that's who's showing up on the lives. But I think if there's just an idea and a concept, and every week we do a small topic, that is helpful to many, or many don't know it, or it's just an advanced feature.
And I mean, the other thing as well with the Live for You is the reason that for me they came about was we were doing Sunday Live, and they were going, well, oh, Bob's popping on as well, awesome. We were doing the Sunday Lives, and the situation came up there where people wanted to stay on longer, but the Sunday Lives are designed to really have people on the to come onto there for 10 minutes max, a couple of questions, and that's how it was always sort of designed in the first place. So of course, when we get people on longer, I love the chat and people being on there. Evening, Bob. We like the way with this, that we can go on longer with this. We can chat about what we want. And I've always wanted to make the Live for Yous a sort of a cafe type, because you guys will agree with this. The IM world, right? Whatever niche you're in, is a lonely world, unless you're working with someone at home doing this. If you're doing it on your own, you're always in a situation where you need that contact with other people. Myself and Robert work so well together. When we have private conversations about various stuff we've got to get done, right? It's for me, it's that contact of talking to someone about what we're doing. When I did Lead Gen Magic, I did it all on my own. I had no backup. If I was on the days when I was really poorly and ill, I still had to come out to my office and work. I couldn't take much time off with that when I was first building it up. And this month for us and the following couple of months are going to be super busy, because I've got Lead Gen Magic that Robert's coming on as well now to support me with. And it's all going in the right direction for everybody. And we've got lots of devs on board who are going to build this up and make things, it's just to grow the whole thing for everybody, really. And that's what this is about, and that's why I wanted the Live used to be a bit of a CAF, sort of not necessarily about Magic Page plugin or building a website. Could just be coming in where someone pops in and goes, I've had the worst week ever. And we go, oh, really? Why have you had the worst week? Oh, well, I was driving down the road and this cat ran out in front of me and I drove my car into a lamppost or something. It could be something as easy as that. And that's what it's all about. How's it going with you then, Bob?
Awesome. It's going great. As far as the DFY, I'm doing step by step and amazed with the progress I've made in a week.
Awesome. That's really exciting, mate. That is. And the thing is when I was mentoring Robert, and it's probably happened with Steve as well. It's those light bulb moments that you see. There are, the eyes light up, and you go, very simple thing, Robert. Right? If I said to you, dynamic pages, you'll know what I mean, won't you?
Are you saying that to me now, or are you saying Bob?
I'm saying to you, Robert. That when I first spoke to you, talk about the light bulb moment there with that.
What was interesting to me was you have something that's supposed to be there that's not. And if it's not there and it's dynamic, how is it even on the website? And you start looking at it and you've seen every time Stephen would switch from one to the other and say, well, you're on the magic page. And I'm like, how the hell did I get to the magic page? I didn't see the connections. And finally I said to him, if you put a different picture on the magic page than the regular page, and you didn't make them look identical, that would help me tremendously. And that's what we did. So for the longest time, I could tell the magic page was a magic page just from the image. But when you make them look the same, and I understand now why they do that, but back then, it was like hocus pocus.
Yeah. And that's how it is, isn't it? It's it can be very, very confusing at the time. But so you found the training, Bob, super simple, and we kept it simple for you.
Super simple. I mean, you stuck right to anything that I can do from 5 to 15 minutes, and I'm done for what the day's work is. But the progress is progressive, and it keeps moving step by step, just as you said. Even the glitch, which you and Robert handled wonderfully, wasn't much of a glitch. It was just, here's what we do, and it's taken care of.
And that's what we always want to do. If someone in the group goes, this isn't working right, we will go and find a solution to the problem, and we will then do a video showing how we fixed it and the quick way of fixing it.
Yes.
And so that's always what we're going to do with this, to look after people, from step by step. And at the end of this, everyone's going to have the training in the members area on the DFI Magic Theme site. So, they'll be able to go in and see that step-by-step training. When we've corrected things and the training's been tweaked for that, then we'll remove the quick fix videos, as I like to call them, and it'll be in the training of this is how you set it up properly.
I think we're always going to be swapping out certain sections of the training, because I think this is going to evolve so quickly to become what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say the word dynamic, but super slick, where it's just going to go from the A to Z a lot faster with less small little steps, and it'll just get easier and less steps that are already there. But so I think we're going to be constantly swapping out some training here and there in the process. That's what's going to happen in my
Also, imagine this, right? That as we go along, in the future, we're going to generate new content files. So the file that you've been shown to load up into Magic Page plugin, which gives you all the standard content. In the future, we're going to do a new version of the themes after these 5. And what it's going to do is we can then release content packs, which means you could take the electrician design, upload it, and pick one of 5 content packs, and the content that uploads is going to be different to the last one, to the last site you set up. And so it's going to get very clever. We've got to work out the little nitty gritties, but it means then you can take in the future. I'd hope to think that you could go to the LGM Legion Magic Blocks Club, load up the blocks, and then take one of our files and chuck it in, and it's your own design. That's what we want to get to in the future. So you can say, I like that hero image. I like that sort of button. I like that bit there. I line it all up down the page as shown. Now I'm going to load that file up, and the content appears on the page. So it's going to get even cleverer without people worrying about what's going on in the background.
Yeah, I'm already planning on changing quite a few of the images out with my own images.
Yeah, and we recommend that as well. You know, to go in, add your own images to the media library, do the information we've shown you, and then go to the image on the page and go, right, that one there I want to change. I'm going to click on it. Down the right hand side, remove it, add a new image. You know, and that's an ideal way of doing things. All we always say is make sure that you don't use copyrighted images, because you don't want to get into trouble.
Is your image copyrighted? Because I was going to have my pseudo electrician company owner is going to be called Robert Brocklehurst. So I was going to use your picture.
But you can use the pictures on our sites are copyright free, and we make sure that they are, so anyone can use them as they are, without ever getting the hand smacked or getting sued by anybody, which is what we wouldn't want. And so, you know, it's directed. It's just going to get better and better as we go along, and the founders that all got in on this, you know, you'll find that you're going to be getting more and more value over the coming months, even when the training has officially finished. When we tweak something, it'll be added to the members area, and you know, we'll make sure that the founders have access to that. You know, and so we got some. I can't give away anything because otherwise,
well, don't blame it on me, but you just can't. Period.
Robert would fly 4,500 miles to strangle me. So you know, it's but then we got some good things coming up for the inner circle people only, and when we're ready, we'll make those announcements. But Monday's going to be super exciting. It's like I said, it's the magic form we've got. Super simple, easy to fill in form that changes your company data onto your website, and then finally after that, it's not the final of the training, but finally we can get to the point where we actually minify the site when you're meant to do it.
Oops, I've already done mine.
No, but you know, but you're in a situation where you understand what you're doing there, you know.
Yeah.
And those that do understand, that's fine. Those that don't, we say wait, you know, don't jump the gun or you confuse everyone. You just wait, and we'll get to that point on Monday. You know, the thing is, the moment you minify the site, if you then choose to back it up and move it to a new site, which some people will do, you know, copy the entire site over, it messes up on the minified side. If you cloned it to a new domain. So that's something which we will touch on. The reason why we say to a lot of people, when you do a new site, if you're happy to follow the process, do the build the way we show you, is WordPress changes all the time, right? And there's some big plans with the people who run WordPress to, with Gutenberg, to do some major updates. And of course, if you've got an old out-of-date site that's backed up somewhere from 6 months ago and you upload it on the new version of WordPress, it may crash. And that's why we teach people it's okay to back them up and restore them. That's fine, but you might find errors with it until you do an update. So the recommendation I always say is, if you can do a backup, create a site and save that site somewhere that's not being shown on Google on a spare domain, leave it there, not being used. And that we'll go into this at some point in a couple of weeks' time, that you then go to that site and say, well, I want to make a copy of it. It's on a domain name, 123xyz.com. It makes no sense, but it's sat there and hidden. And that you can then go in and do all the updates, check the site's okay, back it up, and then put it onto another site. And that's a better way of doing it, or a subdomain you could save it on, But we go, all those sort of things are in the final sort of what I class the final week of main training, where we bring people in and we say, is there anything we've missed? Is there something you'd like us to go over? Maybe, and if majority of people go, oh, you didn't touch on this, then we can make sure the training's done for that area. But once we get to Monday, we're then at the point when the site is ready. It's actually ready for people to go out and rent it out if they want.
I've got an advanced question for you.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at doing selling leads, obviously especially in the electrical world, people want an electrician for some very mundane things like, oh, I want to change my light socket covers, or I want to make this one light switch do two things, and then just simple things that does not take an electrician very long to do, so they don't make a lot of profit from it. Versus, I need a new electrical panel installed, or I need to upgrade my electrical panel, or my house is really old and I need to rewire the entire house. Now you're talking multiple $1,000 jobs. So for lead selling, those leads are much better to sell, and you'll get more money selling those more expensive electrical job leads. Is there going to be like an advanced training on how to tweak the content that's in this site to focus on it?
Yes, there will be. And it's all to do, I won't give away too much because I don't want to confuse people, but it's all to do with the service pages.
Okay.
Right. And we're going to show people how to create their own service pages, and they can put their own content in there. And we're going to do training's going to come up with that. I mean, this training, realistically, I was saying to Robert the other day that we're hoping to officially launch the product to the public at some point in September, when Mike Martins wants to do a webinar, right? But we've got to be sure that the basics are ready and the standard training is ready to the point where then anyone could go out and rent that site or do leads.
Yeah.
Once we're at that point, and that may be another 2-3 weeks away, once we're ready and we've gone through everything we've said we're going to go through, then we're going to be doing some advanced training afterwards, which will get added to the members area. And the way the members area is being set up, anyone new coming in will be drip fed the content. So it means we can give the founders access to that content, and it's all in their own members area ready for them. When someone new comes in, they'll start off from day one, like you guys have, where it's the buy a domain name video up on day one, day two is something else, day three, and it appears in the members area day by day. And we want to do it on purpose that way, because this has worked so well for the founders. As Bob said a moment ago to us, you follow the training and couple of weeks on, you've got the site set up, you've got everything tweaked, and you're ready for the next stage. That's what's super cool about this. And we want to do this. We want to do this for many people that come into MPP and they get confused with things. Robert, and I know with you, Bob, that you see that all that wonderful training out there, and the guys behind it are super intelligent with what they're doing, but sometimes they don't get the point over because they are so clever in what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I pulled it right back. I've said to people, I've always been honest, I'm dyslexic, and I went through school being called dumb by teachers, and nasty things, because they didn't understand back then what that was. We live in a great age for children now. They understand these conditions, and so I've always taught in a way where I think, well, I don't want anyone in my group to ever feel like they're stupid, thick, or dumb, or can't do it. And that's why I've done it in bite-sized ways where we go, do this, do this, do this, do this. Look at this now, a couple of weeks on, you've got a site built, which is probably more than you've ever done with MPP in the past,
I want to circle back around to Steve's comment there, because I think that's spot on as far as how you're thinking, but I have a different thought of what I would like to do, because as you go forward, you have your basic electrical services, and that's what the first one is. But as you go forward, you could take that same replication of what that site looks like with different images and different content and turn it into less than 6 services and make it all about the expensive ones. And then those people that are buying those leads have a different price scale than the ones that are coming from the general electrical lead, if you follow what I'm saying. So the guys that are willing to pay the money for the lead will get the lead about the changing out the panel or upgrading the service in the entire house, not the lead about switching a light bulb or a switch to a two-way switch.
And
Yeah,
we can do that with Lead Simplify pretty easily, can't we?
yeah.
Yeah. And the cool thing as well is the reason we've done the done for yous is to give people an insight in, if you go and look at the site that's built now, you can see the spin text in there. So you can get an idea what that is. You can see the magic page in there. You can see X fields in there, and all these things that someone new coming into this. If when you guys first started with Magic Page plugin, right, and you hadn't seen any of the training, and I said, do you know what an X field is? Most of you will say no.
Hell no.
Where
was it
and
taught?
but if you came into the system where we trained you to set a site up, just trained you in everything that you need to know to get to the end point of either getting leads or selling or renting the sites out. And then we said to you, do you know what an X field is? Well, now you should get a better understanding of what an X field is. Then you can take that site, reinstall it elsewhere, and go and look and say, right, I can clone that page there and then change that page to be underfloor heating engineer or a fuse box panel engineer, whatever you want it to be. You can you then get a better understanding of what to do. And we've got some great training coming up over the weeks, which will explain more into that. And there are two trains of thought with this, and we are going to cover both, but in a very careful way and a very keep it simple way. Two directions you can go with building a niche site or keeping the current site and adding niche sections to it. And the new Magic Page plugin, wow, the things you can do in that now is absolutely awesome. And that's the thing as well that we're going to show you guys, that it's so easy to generate these pages. And now we've changed to Cadence blocks and Gutenberg. Something I really love about it now, right? And not many people realize this. And Steve, you'll be able to test this, right? You go and set yourself up a blank WordPress site, right, with Cadence blocks and Gutenberg in it, all the plugins we've already got. You go to your existing site and you find a block section, and you got the three dots on it. Click on copy, go to a different domain name and paste that section onto that blank site, and it'll copy over.
Nice.
Now with Elementor, right, what you have to do is save that block onto a separate page, save that bit as a template, export the template, import it onto the new site, and then pull it back into the original page so that the block works properly. You can't just go copy from there, paste it over to that new domain. Gutenberg, you can do that.
You can't leave the domain, but you can do it in the same domain.
Yeah. So Elementor is always the same domain. So it's abc.com, and you want to copy an Elementor block from one page to another on abc.com, you can do it. But if you want to go from abc.com to 123 with Elementor, you can't. But with Gutenberg, you can.
That's what's neat.
Yeah.
So when it comes to reproducing this yourselves, and you go, you know what, I love that here slider. I like that slider on that site. I'm going to copy that slider. I'm going to install the Guten slider plugin, and I'm going to copy and paste it onto the new site page, and then change that slider to do what I want it to do. And that is where we're going with all of this. This is what we love. And also I've noticed, I don't know if you noticed this, Steve Dimmock, but going from Elementor to Gutenberg now, the speed of the sites have shot up.
Well, that's not surprising.
Yeah.
Gutenberg is on par with Oxygen and Beaver Builder, where Elementor is on the par with Divi and some of the other really poorly coded ones that just generate 1,000 nested divs per page.
And the thing with this as well, that it's we've used all the free plugins, so you don't need to pay for the pro versions. And that's what we always wanted to do with now with Elementor. Some features that we would like, you have to have the pro version for them to work, or a plugin that will do it. Well, the moment you get over 5 plugins on your website, your site's going to slow down. Right? With our setup, you've got Cadence blocks plugin. You've got the theme. We use the theme Cadence in the background. then you've got MPP, and then the Guten slider, and then all you need after that, realistically, is maybe a security plugin just to make sure it's secure. And apart from that, that's it. There's 5 plugins max on there at the moment. And if you add one more, it won't do any harm. But when you get close to 10, which I know some people, I came across one site the other day that had 60 plugins, and it was dog slow. And you know, those resources are pulling in all the time. Now, with the way Gutenberg works with the Cadence block builder, once you've built it, it doesn't pull anything from the plugin itself afterwards. So it just means it's Gutenberg, and the page speeds are even faster. Optimize your images, you'll be looking, you know, anything from 80% upwards on mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you say that, Steve, I'm just wondering, I was able to use the case study in a way that I never imagined I would today, because I actually used the case study to show people what they could do without telling them they could do it that way, which was the legal pages.
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell them how to build their legal pages, but I can show them how I'm going to do it in my case study.
And that's the thing with Robert's case studies as well, is that we've gone down that route. So my training is, you know, A, B, C, D done. Right, Robert's case studies is going to be down the route of, well, this is how you set this up. This is what I use for legal pages. Whilst we don't advise, you know, we say get legal advice. That's the angle. You can go and get that particular product and use it if you want to, or find your own product.
So that was interesting how that worked. But what made me think about that, Steve, was if those pages are built and they're on the site, can we then drop the plugins?
You can't drop the Cadence Builder plugin.
No, not that one, the legal page plugin.
I think you can, because the contents are already in there. Because the way we design these themes is the header and footer is site wide. So when you generate a new page, the header and footer automatically is on that page, followed by then any content in between is on there. And to my knowledge, the plugin that you're talking about is one that I think you can remove afterwards, because it's just all it does is paste the content on the page.
I'm thinking it can be, and because of your conversation about the plugins, it made me realize not that it's a heavyweight plugin, but it's a plugin just the same. And the way that it worked was really nice, and I went through both sides of it so everybody could see that they can do it either way. It creates a separate page and puts every legal disclaimer in that page, and it links to the individual pieces. And then the second portion of it actually builds a physical page, and you choose which ones you want to build, and it'll put the pages in the site.
Yeah.
So you can do both. I actually did both. I put a legal page that included every disclaimer, and then I made separate privacy policy in terms of service using the plugin. And it literally was minutes to do it. It was not hard. It was fill in 3 fields, put the, you know, abc.com, where you're from, and something else, and it just generated the pages. So is it, you know, legal tight? I think it's probably pretty damn good compared to what most people would do, which is do nothing. But that's why we just can't. Originally, Steve and I said, I'm going to put them in, and we.
I went, no. Yeah, but I know Robert's also going to go off and test using X fields in on the boxes for them to auto pull in the company name and stuff. So, you know, we're going to test a few things, and also I'll get Robert to go off and test that, where he uninstalls the plugin to see if the pages will stick. That's always useful to know. But as long as you don't go mad with plugins, you know, 5 or 6 plugins isn't going to do any harm. It's when you get close to 10 that there's an issue. You know, what I am going to do, because we are on a number of channels, we're going to keep this going secretly in this group now. We're going to have further chats between us. So if you want to come and join in on this Saturday night chat, dfymagicthemes.com/live. Pop in and say hello if you want to and join in. We're going to be live on Sunday night, doing everything as normal from 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Live for You. And we'll have a chat with everyone who comes on that, whether Sundays is still great and we'll keep it that, or we look to do a Saturday night one. We're just trying to work out what's going to work for everyone. We can't please everyone, and Sundays might be the thing that we keep it at. But for the moment, I'm going to switch off all the channels and say goodnight to everyone, because we're going to end the live stream, but we're going to keep this going now in here. And if you want to come over and find out what we're talking about, pop in. It's dfymagicthemes.com